ago I asked for the church for prayers because I had to go through an operation that lasted, I thought 4 hours would turn into 7 hours. And then another 6 hour thing in bed recovering from that. And I want you to know that God really, really tremendously blessed me. I went in the operation for the one thing that was wrong with my heart. And God revealed to the doctor that there were 2 other things. So I got a 3 in 1 thing. And I praise God for that. And I want you to know that God is faithful. You got junk in your life, and you want to be healed, get rid of the junk. Because He's not going to heal you until you do. And you got to be 100% committed to Him. Every part of your life, like other stuff, got to go. But God is good, God is faithful. I tried to get rid of my wife when I was here, but she wouldn't leave. She stayed by me 24/7. And so, thank you, church. Thank you for praying for me, because otherwise, I'm convinced that doctor would have never found those other 2 things that was wrong with my heart. I got a ways to go yet, because when they did the MRI, they found something in my lung. I don't know what it is. But pray for me, pray for that they'll find whatever it is and take care of that as well. Again, thank you, praise God.
And one of his fears in our mini church was praying for, and I believe Candy goes to go to the school, Sam and Yolanda said Nick would go to the doctors because he's so afraid that they might give him bad news that he doesn't want to go. Well, finally he got too sick that he couldn't help him and he had to go. And the great thing about that was, he was worried about all this. He said he's going to have cancer and all this stuff, and it turned out that they were going to look for all these things because that was really what it looked like. And so all these tests came out negative, and he's fine and he's home. So thank you guys for praying and continue to pray. The difference between Uncle Bob and Nick is Uncle Bob is out serving the Lord, loving the Lord. Nick is still trying to find the Lord. But isn't it great that God loves us no matter what? You don't have to know Him to be blessed by Him. But when you know Him, you need to know that you need to make actions, not your words. Does that make sense? I believe that's what Uncle is saying for us. And then Kalau, pray for her for strength and just to endure. Sometimes it's life can be overwhelming with the circumstances that you deal with. So as the service goes on and if the Lord tugs at your heart, pray for her. She's probably gonna get it all the time, but listen to her. Okay? If God tells you pray, pray. Amen. Detour from our study from the book of James. I have to be really honest with you. I was struggling with the message. I have a series that I was working through, and I'm reading it, and it's just not connecting. The whole week I'm losing sleep. So finally, I decided to surrender to God. The message, the title, The Heart of a Mom. I don't like to talk about moms because I get emotional because I lost my mom. I just don't like to talk about it. We have this stuff, but when it comes to the service, I stopped talking about Mother's Day and then kind of just stayed in the topics of what we're going to be teaching. So I was like, where we go? We're not going to talk about Mother's Day. We're going to talk about James and what he has to say. And I'm going to be real honest with you guys. I was like totally freaking out. Work was really hectic, and I didn't have the message ready yesterday. And if you guys don't know what it's like, you're at that point of having a nervous breakdown. I'm serious, and so last night I got home morning. I figured I relax. God is gonna open up the doors because God does that. You realize that God will give you something like in a snap, and you're like, oh, why didn't that happen earlier? So Hal talked to me this one day. She said, honey, I'll make the PowerPoint. What you got done? And what nothing. If I don't have anything, this is 6:30 in the morning, right? And she goes, what? Are you crazy? I go, I know. I'm having a nervous breakdown already. And, we're gonna do something, but I don't know what. And so She goes, so you're serious? You don't have anything? I go, yeah, I'm on the computer. And so I went to looking through different things, and Mother kept popping up. But I don't want to do a Mother's Day message. You know, and so I went to sermon.com, you know, just looking all kind of stuff and reading, you know, like, jump, you know, reading this, reading that, you know, and then I ran into this and I was like, I think this is it. And so I looked at it, started reading, and all of a sudden the memories of my mom started just running through my head. I got overwhelmed, and I got up to the computer and I just started typing. I completed this in 2 hours. That is God stuff. I'm telling you, that this is impossible, right? So let me share with you what I found, and then I put it all together with some help of other pastors' notes and stuff, and hearts and stuff, everything. The book we're going to read from is John 2, verses 1 to 11. And, you know, you think of Jesus' mom, Mary. You see a mom that is somewhat perfect, right? And you think about Mary. You know, anybody goes, yeah, she sucks, right? You're just going to be talking about Mary going, wow, she's pretty awesome, right? But the truth is, she was a nagging mom, meaning she meddled in Jesus' business. Sound like some of your moms, right? And she wasn't so perfect. It's kind of hard to think of a woman who has more honor than Mary when we read it in the Bible, and yet see these flaws. And so I was reading about this and thinking about it, but it's amazing that she was chosen by God to be the mother of His Son, Jesus Christ, the Messiah. And she's a very intimidating woman in the Bible. I mean, you're reading this lady's picture, a young girl, faithful with the Lord, and has been given such a heavy load to carry. Now, what we probably don't realize is that her life is so central to the ministry of Jesus that there's even a church that teaches that Mary was sinless. We're not getting into that. You can do your own research if you guys like. But that's how perfect that they see Mary's actions. And the crazy thing is that she sinned. We know that because the Bible says all have fallen short of the glory of God, even Mary. Right? But when we think of sin, sometimes we try to put a big S in front of it, and we don't realize even the small S comes. Well, we're going to take a closer look at what made Mary a great mom, as well as a faulty mom. And tonight's message is to call all the moms in the house. And don't worry, we're going to pray for you folks. We're just going to save it towards the end. To continue to love Jesus and raise your children in the ways of the Lord. And if you're not there yet, to strive for that. And the other part is for us children to have a different outlook towards our moms. Right? I don't have my mom with me, so I see with totally different eyes. But when my mom was here, she was a nag. Always getting involved in my business and stuff like that. Right? And it's so awesome to know that Jesus had the same problems. Right? How cool and fortunate are we to experience the same experience as Jesus? That is so cool. Right? So you guys are going to be blown away. Now, we take this closer look at Jesus' mom, and you're going to be surprised about the gem you have in your own life called mom. How many of you guys, maybe I shouldn't do this. How many of you children would say that mom can be honest. Yeah. I can say that. She's not here. She's not going to know I'm still. That's okay. Forgive me. Right? But if we're going to be honest, right? As children, we would say that mom can be nagging and meddling in our own business. They don't understand. Right? You know, just want to control my life. Think they know everything, but they don't know that I'm an individual, you know, and that I'm smart and I can make wise choices. Right? You guys probably heard it all. My mom heard it all. Not that I'm a parent, I hear it all too. You know? But I want you to see as we conclude tonight's message just how valuable you are to have a mom that nags. Okay? And that for moms to realize that God chose you for such a time as this. You are to guard your children with the heart of God. And so continue to lead them to Jesus. So in our study we find that Jesus and Mary is attending a wedding party, and during the wedding celebration they ran out of wine. And so like any party, no different than today, right? If you run out of food, you have the most suckiest party in the world. And it just goes through all wine line. Yeah, the parents had a party. They didn't even have enough food to feed everybody. We ain't never went to their party again, right? You know, so it brings a dishonor. And so what happened in those days, now, they had wine, and for all they say, oh, that means we can drink. Okay, you have to understand, it was different. In fact, I read up on some stuff, and this is really cool. It said that when they made this wine for dinner celebrations like this, it was 1 to 2 parts. So it was watered down in a way it wasn't supposed to get you drunk. It was supposed to just be a drink to get, you know, the food down. So if you was going to get plastered, you would have to drink a lot. And if you drank that much, you overstayed your company. You know what I mean? But one of the things we got to realize is that these parties didn't just happen for one day. They had several days of celebration. Well, if you ran out of anything, it would be embarrassing. In this case, they ran out of wine. And we're not sure how the relationship works with Mary and the wedding party. I don't know if it was the girl, the guy from Joseph's side or whatever. We don't really know. But we know that there was some kind of relationship that it caused Mary to be troubled with the fact that he ran out of wine at the party. And disgrace would fall upon his family. And as she considered this situation and made it a personal one, she knew somebody that could fix it, right? The person that could fix it was her son Jesus. Now, you have to understand at this time, Jesus wasn't a little boy anymore. He was a man. And so, and I don't know if you guys will agree, but I don't believe you guys will agree. She had a tendency of speaking to Jesus, right? And that's just from what we read, almost like a little boy. In fact, moms, how many of you would agree that even though your kids are 75 years old, they are still your little baby? Yeah? All the moms raising their hands. Right? They don't matter how old they get, they're your babies. Yeah? And so, Mary was no different. Jesus was a grown man, and she's speaking to him like he's still a boy. Well, get this, and we're going to draw this because I want you guys to see what God is saying here. She talks to her son, and she doesn't ask him to fix the problem. She pretty much tells him to fix it. Not if he can. Listen to this, John 2:3. It says, the wine supply ran out during the festival, so Jesus' mother told him they have no wine. He goes, well, that doesn't sound too, aggressive or, like she's, but no, she's telling him, there's a problem here, and you need to fix it. It's kind of amazing, right? Here's a mom, and she's doing something that moms do. Anybody figured it out yet? She's being pushy. She's being pushy. Why? Why is she being pushy? Because she knows your potential. She knows Jesus' potential. And it's really crazy. You see, Jesus knew exactly what the mom was saying. How do we know that? Well, let's read verse 4 where it says, dear woman, that's not our problem. Jesus replied, my time has not yet come. So he knew exactly what mom was saying, and he'd say, Mom, mind your own business. Stop trying to push me. In fact, the message, the Bible message, or the Bible called the message, says it this way. Jesus said, is that any of our business? Mother, yours or mine? This isn't my time. Don't push me. I love that. It sounds something like a local person would say, yeah? Oh, what are you pushing me for? When I think about this, my sons was, when they got into Impact, they was adamant about not being part of this early Impact thing. And the mom, like all other moms, is very pushy. You guys know my wife, she's a bully, yeah? Okay. And all the women, you guys had that experience with her. And she said, you will try it before you say no. And so they ended up joining the Impact program. And I think like in 2 days in, they're like, we don't like you, we want to quit. She goes, no, you need to do it longer. The heart of it how was she saw something in the kids that if it was nurtured, could be something great. I have to give her all props because I would have not pushed them into Impact. Dancing, singing, blah, but those boys are just having a blast right now. And one of the things is we're registering them to be in Manapuni High, and they have these programs that surrounding them to go in band and all this stuff, and they're really excited. And because of that, because of what Mom saw, she opened up their future. She created a greater potential of becoming great for them. Does that make sense? You see, sometimes as children we don't realize that Mom sees something we don't, and so she will push for the goodness of our future. Does that make sense? So Mary, a nice woman, and she's probably been a great mom to Jesus. She was chosen by God to be his mom because she was a woman of faith. And I think it's safe to say that Mary isn't any different from any of you right here today. You love the Lord. You're a bit pushy, right? A bit naggy. But the reason you do this is because you know the potential that lies in your child that is waiting to burst and bloom, that would create for them a great future. My mom, she was wicked. I don't mean it in a bad way, but she was mean. You can ask all of my sisters there. and my brothers, but the older batch, we call it older batch, because they had children after the first war. We saw a side of my mom that the younger kids didn't see, and never understood what was going on in that lady's head, you know. Then I became a parent, and I realized something, and it changed my whole perspective. That my mom may have not made all the right choices, may have not had the greatest idea, but her heart was always that we would benefit in a great, great way. Does that make sense? You know, moms, they're just awesome. It's unbelievable. And we're going to change because I'm ready to cry. We find that Jesus, Mary's being kind of pushy here. And you can read in Mark 3. I guess you go ahead and read in Mark 3. You'll find that she does it again. Right? Mary and the brothers and sisters are hanging out, and you hear about Jesus at this place, and you know, he's not considering him to be crazy, he's talking all this stuff, and so they go out to go get him. Right? And when they get there, he goes, your mom, your father's here. He goes, who is my mom? You know, it's kind of cool. You guys better read the story. But I want you to see that that's what moms do. When they hear stuff and it doesn't seem right, they'll jump in and they'll nag. Yeah. How many of you guys understand what I'm talking about? Are you still with me? Later on, if you're young now, later on you're gonna be so blessed by that nagging. Right now you're irritated, frustrated, probably wanna run away. Don't do it! It's gonna be okay. I promise you. One of the great things you have to hang on to is that the Lord that's teaching you and watching over you right now is in love with Jesus. And to the moms, I say this, continue to lead them in the ways of the Lord. So, we read that Mary and her family went there to try to take charge of Jesus' life in Mark 3, trying to save him. And when you read this translation, or when you read it and you have a translation, the heart behind it is that we're not going to let you go until you promise to behave. Isn't that kind of cool? The heart of the mom is saying, I'm not letting you go until you start promising to behave. And the heart is this, I will hold you as long as I have to here. You can run, you can do whatever you want to do, but my love for you will still hold on to you in a way that when you have your aha moment, you're going to realize that what I was doing was out of love. I value you too much to let you sabotage your future. Now, I want us to check this out because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we kind of, in our minds, we don't see it, but we have this mindset of saying, you know, like mom teaches so perfect. Yeah, like mom doesn't make mistakes. Well, it's so cool to know that Mary made a whole bunch of mistakes, and one of them was meddling in her son's business. I'm reading this stuff and I'm thinking, wow, man, she's not just like my mom. You know, sometimes when she's supposed to back off, she's still pushing forward, you know? And she just had this urge. And I want to speak to the young people about moms in this particular way, is that moms, they have this urge to try to fix things. You know? They want to always try to fix things. And then we get questioned because we don't want them to fix nothing because nothing's broken. So we did. But if we would be wise to what the Lord is saying as children, you would be amazed at how God would open up and reveal to you that what mom is doing is because God wants to release a blessing in your life. You know, a lot of times, and not only young children, young adults too, sometimes we think we're too smart to take advice. And at that moment when we are like that is when we are the most vulnerable to Satan's activity in our lives. Now, through God's blessing, Mary gave birth and raised her son. And, she was also, wasn't anything special. God saw her with favor because of her heart of worship for Him. But she still was weak, meaning she still had flaws and faults, right? And I started to think about this. Because I don't know if you guys ever did this. I'm speaking to the young guys. Well, the old guys like Sam. You have a mom, right, Sam? God, I had one, right? But you ever thought about it when you get angry at your parents or your mom? You start making a list of why, what they do wrong. Yeah, like bullying me, you want to get in my way, and all this stuff. And as I was at home, I started to reflect on all these things that my mom. So, just in this, this day, I had a lot of reflection to do concerning my relationship with my mom and my memory that I kind of just don't want to deal with. I miss it. I miss having that nagging mom, that mom that meddled in my business. Now I have Kihao. She doesn't stop. No sugar, no salt. Oh my goodness. But my mom wasn't supposed to be perfect. She's supposed to have faults. And, when we came to the Lord, she was still learning about God. And so there's a process that each mom who calls on the name of the Lord needs to go through and learn as they become more of the reflection of Jesus. And the more reflection that they become of Jesus, the better equipped they come to guide and lead in the ways of the Lord. It doesn't make your job easy. Because society still says to the children, mom is a nagging mom. They just want to control your life. They don't want you to be free. You're just a slave. And all that stuff, right? But that's the enemy's work, man. To deceive us. And then when we run away or we do whatever, we rebel and all this stuff, is when Satan starts to work. One of the things I've learned that Satan hates, two things. He hates the love relationship we have between between God and us. He doesn't like that. And he hates the love relationship that is shared in a family unit. You notice that when you love this way, there's not many things that's going to break that bond. They can do the darkest thing that you will say, I don't care, that's still my baby. I still love her. And Satan hates that kind of love. Why? Because that kind of love sees past sin. And that's the kind of love that moms have for the children. And that's the kind of love us children gotta learn to start having for our parents. Does that make sense? So, in verse 5 it says, but his mother told the servants, do whatever he tells you. So, the mom walks up to Jesus, boy, We don't have any more wine. Do something about it. Jesus is, Mom, what should I do? It's not our business. Why are you pushing me to do stuff? Well, Mary, I love her attitude. And moms does this, they do this so well. And I can remember when mom doing this irritating, right? And she looks at the servants that's hanging out by Jesus. She's no longer talking to Jesus. She talks to the servants. She goes, do whatever he says. It's really crazy because Mary is pushing Jesus to fix the problem, but she's not getting in the way for him to do it. Right? She goes, it's like a reverse psychology. I'll take it this way now. I know that Jesus is the Son of God, and therefore he was flesh and divine. But we have to understand that Jesus also had to battle the flesh part. And we don't really know what was going on. But I believe that when we love the Lord, that our footsteps are ordained by God. I don't care what man thinks and what the law says. God's plan must unfold for those who call upon his name. His plan for this world must unfold according to what he says. And the last time I read the Bible, he keeps telling me the more I trust him, the more I love him, the more my life will start to make sense, and the greater testimony I will be for him. All glory, my life, all glory for his name and his name alone. Does that make sense? Right? So I'm going to go through stuff. And I'm going to get tired, I'm going to get frustrated. But as I trust the Lord will strengthen me, and that becomes a testimony of God's power. My mom, we used to say she was crazy. Sometimes I really think she was crazy, okay? And don't worry, she was here, I called her crazy before, but my mom, she would always she came up one day with some of our other members of the church, and she came up and she goes, God told me that my son is going to be a pastor one day. And I was like, lady, you are crazy. Right? Because I was smoking, drinking. The last thing on my mind was church. But she said, I believe that God has a calling on his life. Even when I didn't have any belief or believe my potential, she believed for me what I couldn't believe for myself. The week before this, I was reminded of that, and it really, I tried to stay low like that, but on my own time, I was really broken. Keller had to do a presentation at school, and so we were able to take some time off and be at the presentation. And it's mandatory to pass this presentation. You sit in front of a panel and you give a whole thing about you, and then you do your O-level stuff, and all this. And he really sucked on the Hawaiian part, because he didn't practice. But in the English part, he was able to share what he was trying to get across. But the Hawaiian was a big factor as far as his passing. And one of the things he said that just kind of got us all nuts. I mean, all was crying. I was ready to walk out the room. And he said, I got a hard time believing my potential of what I could be and become. My parents believe more in me than I believe in myself. Oh, we would live all ourselves, right? So, and I started to think about this. I love Mary's response. Because although Jesus was saying, Mom, you keep pushing, she knew that he was created for such a time as this. That there was the potential of the Holy Spirit's movement in his life to be everything God called him to be. And I want this to speak to our church today. You guys notice that out there no more chairs? That's not an accident. Now goes, what about the people who like to stay out there? They can stand. I believe that we have to be purposed. And if we're going to be purposed, then we need to get in and we need to listen. Just like how we need to listen to our mom's heart for our potential that she sees and that sometimes maybe we don't even see. Does it make sense? You see, I think it's important to understand that God has called all of us as children of God for such a time, like how I was saying earlier, that we would love people beyond their ability to be loved because they're so different. Right? People don't want to love you because you're so different. I don't want to love them, you're weird, you're ugly, you're whatever. They're not the same. And the Lord's part for us is love beyond that, because the potential of them becoming a great witness, a son or daughter of Jesus, of the Lord, is crazy. That's exactly what the plan of God was from the very beginning. Does that make sense? So, she simply spoke and expected to be done. You ever notice moms do that? They speak, they drop it, and kind of gotta think about what they say. Moms, they're so famous for that, you know. Right? You're like, explain it. And they go, you figure it out. Why? Because when you get it, it starts to make sense. And it's so important for us to understand what God is trying to tell us. You see, isn't it true when they said, knowledge, right, is the door to success? But the knowledge, in order to get knowledge, you need to dig in. And not only dig in, because you can read 20,000 books and get nothing, but you need to dig in and really comprehend what is being said, that what you read becomes vital information that helps to give you the skills you need to be successful. The Word of God is no different. And that's why for moms, I want to encourage you to continue to love Jesus, to continue reading your Word, and continue leading your children in the way that God is calling them to be led. Oh, it's difficult. You never said it was going to be easy. Now, there's going to be moments when you make mistakes, right? You yell, you get angry and stuff like that. But one of the things we need to be an example of, and you know, my mom she was a hardcore person. She doesn't like to say sorry. That's probably where I get it from, you know. But when she did say sorry, she was really sorry or adamant about me understanding or us understanding that she never made the right decision. Right? Those are different things. I think that's the wonderful thing about having an imperfect mom, is that knowing when they make mistakes, then, you know, they're not perfect. And therefore, when we start raising our children, we understand that we're not always going to make the perfect decisions all the time. But if we can teach them to admit to that imperfection, that yeah, maybe I don't get it right all the time, but my heart is that I try to. Then we give our children the skill that is so needed, which is to accept failure so that they can move on and become victorious. Does that make sense? Too many people in our society hasn't gotten to the place of accepting failure, so they keep sabotaging themselves, never becoming all that God wants us to do. As crazy as this is, and I gotta be really honest, I see it in the school system. say to the children, the school cannot change everything in a few hours. But it's sad that when I see these kids come with this behavior, that behavior comes from home. And the school cannot change drastically the lifestyle of that child when they go back home. It's the same thing. Does it make sense? So I want you guys to hear this because one, moms, you guys are the mom. I am so blessed to have a mom that loved Jesus. Did she love Jesus before? She loved Jesus, but she didn't have a relationship with Jesus. At that time, she wasn't a very good mom. She was vicious. Then she started loving Jesus, she was totally different. Still a little bit wacko. But she loved Jesus. And I want to give you moms props for being in the house of the Lord and seeking guidance from God to raise your children. You guys have no idea the success stories that you guys are about to release in the generations to come. And if you heard them, you have one more now, but you saw the success of your children loving Jesus now and doing different things in other people too. You know, that's what it's all about. Raising children to continue to love Jesus and raise their children to love Jesus. Now, Mary's faith that Jesus would instruct the servants to do the right thing was so powerful for me. She knew that she triggered her son to think about this, trusting God was going to begin this work. In fact, if you read the story, this is the first miracle that Jesus ever did. And it's amazing now, don't get all nuts, but it's wine that Jesus creates. And so no go out there drinking wine, getting all drunk, okay? But isn't it amazing? You know, you read the story, it wasn't watered down. At least that's what I get from it, because the person that was running the wedding, he goes, man, this is really good stuff. The heart behind it wasn't the wine, okay? It was the provision of God. It is really good stuff. Okay, guys? So stay off the wine. I love this because when I read the stuff, I said, look at Mary, she had faults, and yet God saw her favor to have raised Jesus, right? You know that there's another man in the Bible that the Lord calls a man of great faith. You guys probably know, if not, once I say it, you guys know Abraham, right? The Lord says, this guy, man, it's a man of great faith. But did you know that if you continue to read the story about Abraham, he had a lot of mistakes too. The hard about these people was when they made a mistake, they were able to bow before the Lord and admit it. And I want us to hear this because as parents, as people of God, we're going to make mistakes. We talked about it last week. Let's be able to have grace and share the grace that was shared with us and everybody else who needed it. Amen? Now, we're going to look at John 2, verse 6 to 10. It says, standing nearby were 6 stone water jars used for Jewish ceremonial washing. Each could hold 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus told the servant, fill the jars with water. When the jars had been filled, he said, dip some out and take it to the master of ceremonies. So the servants followed his instruction. When the master of ceremonies tasted the water that was now wine, not knowing where it had come from, though of course the servants knew, he called the bridegroom over. A host always serves the best wine first, he said. Then when everybody has had a lot to drink, he brings out the least expensive wine. but you have kept the best until now. So, I want us to understand that God has given Mary a place in the life of Jesus with great importance. And moms, you guys are no different. For such a time as this, God has placed you in your families with great importance of raising up the children to continue to love and follow Jesus. In fact, we read Scripture, and Scripture tells us that the children are only lent to us. They don't belong to us. We are the caretakers for Jesus, for the Lord. And I want us to always have this mindset, because if they are children of God, then I must raise them with the knowledge of God. Does that make sense? You see, what she wanted Jesus to do at this wedding was really unbelievable, because she was pushing Jesus to say, hey, come on, you got the potential. But you need to stir it up, right? You need to work out that potential. And so, again, I want to speak to the young people, the ones that, they're kind of in love. Realize this, that mom is stirring you up. There's great things in store for you, but unless you're aware and expecting those great things to happen, it's not going to happen. Now, what made Jesus respond to the mom? Well, it's really crazy, because when you think about this, even though Jesus was God in the flesh, even though he stepped out of heaven for a little while, he was still bound by the very law he decreed for the rest of mankind. What was that law? This is the one we all complain about. We all grumble why they put such a law in the Bible. The law, Exodus 20, verse 12, honor your father and mother, then you will live a long, full life in the land, in the Lord your God, the Lord your God is giving you. So even Jesus was bound by this law of honoring and respecting his parents, in this case, his mom. And I want us to hear this, because there's a blessing that's released when we honor our parents. It's crazy, crazy stuff. I used to think about this message that honor your mother and father. And I didn't honor me, all this kind of stuff, right? You guys all probably said it, okay? I'm just the guy up here speaking the truth, but now that we have kids, doesn't it totally make sense, right? Doesn't it make sense that the heart of the parent is for success? They don't want the child to go down a dead-end road, and so we put roadblocks. That roadblocks become irritation for the kids, right? Well, the reason for the roadblocks is that if we don't put those roadblocks there, we allow them to be in a situation that's just not good. And then the outcome can be one that destroys their lives. Of course, some of us not going to listen. I did it. Until I was all bossed up and finally realized that what mom was doing all the time was trying to protect me. You see, God's heart for us is that we would all be successful in what we do. And God gave us parents and moms. And I'm going to be really honest. Moms love different than dads. As a dad, I would stand here and go, "Dads love better," you know. But I know for a fact that a mother's love is really different. It doesn't mean that dad don't love us a lot. Mom's love is totally different. I don't know how to explain it. I know how it feels. And it is amazing. Right? You know, and I think it's really cool when they connect it or illustrate it with a kind, a mama bear. You know, because they will die for their cubs. Right? And I realize that, you know, sometimes we don't honor our moms as much as they need to be honored. And yeah, they made mistakes, but so they married. That God saw her faithful and saw her as the one that would bring his son into the world. A lady that had faults. Now when I start looking at my mom and realize all the things I said under my breath because you dare not say it in the open when you want it cracks, I realized that a lot of it was wrong. John 2:11, this miraculous sign at Cana in Galilee was the first time Jesus revealed his glory and his disciples believed in him. So the mom pushed, and it was the first time that Jesus opened up to the divine and created something miraculous. It was the beginning of his ministry. I want you guys to really hear this. Jesus was probably about 30 years old, and Mama still treating him like he's 12. But isn't it crazy that at 30 years old, Mama still had this heart and faith in her little boy that she wouldn't allow him to settle to just be ordinary. You were called for such a time as this. Let me trigger that. Now, don't get me wrong. This was all put in motion by God. You see, I believe the reason why Mary was called to be the one that what Jesus did was because God knew that at the right time when he spoke to her, without her even understanding, she would trigger her son to understand it was time to operate according to the way my God, my Father, has called me to. And I want to speak this, I'm going to end this in the church. A mother's faith, when you trust in Jesus enough to tell your children, grandchildren, nephews, nieces, whatever, let Jesus fix the problem. You are giving them the best instructions ever. You know, I never really understood that. Yeah, because, let Jesus solve your problem. Let Jesus. Well, where is Jesus? I found out the reason I couldn't see Jesus was because I wasn't really looking for Jesus. And then when I decided to look for him, I found him, and guess what? Ever since then, he was fixing all kind of problems in my life. He is totally amazing. And so, moms, continue to raise the children in the ways of the Lord. And don't worry about the mess-ups, because if Mary can make mistakes, you allow her to fool yourself, you know. For the children, continue to be wise, to listen to your parents, in this case, your mom, as we talk about Mother's Day, and allow them to feed into you. And if you don't understand what's being said, then have a conversation with mom. Mom, why? Help me to understand. You'll be amazed that when mom shares her heart is all about you. Isn't that crazy? You guys have no idea, although this is a fast message to put together, one of the hardest for me. I'm not very happy. And it says that the Lord starts to stir me up in this way, but at the same time I'm stoked because I look out and I'm like, you guys all have an opportunity to love your parents right now. Take it, receive it, glean from it, and allow your future to be open up to the potential that God wants it to be. Does that make sense? Let's pray.